Hey, it's Lowry Smith of the Commander's Miss here with a box opening order from Card Kingdom. About $200 worth plus a pack. I bought this randomly yesterday when I was going through stuff. So I'm going to start out with the pack, but I want to say it's roughly 200 cards. Just some foils, and I'm looking for some decks. Ravnica remastered a bit, and then I built Tesa. You can go check that out. Some of the cards I'm using, some of them not at this point, unfortunately, when you're buying early in a deck building, it's oftentimes you're wrong. So let's do the pack real quick and then we'll get into the the stuff that I actually ordered. Oh, good for me. Do we got that? I got that as a button.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. So remember to share, like, and subscribe here. Commander Smiths is a weekly podcast that comes out every Monday. We do a bunch of little stuff on YouTube here too. So always stuff happening. Check it out. Uh, all right, let's see what we get here a little bit, huh? Basilica Stalker. Hopefully, it gets a good card. That's always fun when you get a good card. Oh, it looks like there's a little foil out there peeking. I don't know what it is, but demand answers. Call the surprise witness. I kind of like that reanimation spell a little bit. Undercity Eliminator. Frantic Scapegoat, definitely escaped from Thor's movie Love and Thunder. Let's see here. Hedge Whisperer. I'm not going to read that either. I'm assuming most of you know the cards. Oh no, I skipped a rare. Deadly Cover Up. That's anticlimactic, huh? You can collect evidence 6, destroy all creatures. If evidence was collected, exile a card from an opponent's graveyard, then search its own graveyard and da 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 da. Easily the best art of the set. I mean, when you associate it with Thor: Love and Thunder, then I agree. Otherwise, goats, I've never seen a goat yell. I'm gonna admit that I haven't seen a lot of goats, and they're very weird. I don't like their eyes at all. It's so strange how they have, like, like, pill-shaped pupil. It's strange to me. Hedge Whisperer, yeah. So I don't know what that one is. And that's a common at foil. Nada dada. All right. Yay. That was a waste. Let's check out the rest of this stuff though. That will not be a waste. And that's why I don't buy packs often. A box or singles. A box just because it's fun and it kind of ends up evening out generally. Um, but yeah, goats. There's a saga of animals. Overrated? Is that what we're saying? The overratedness? Little cool vampire token? Whoops. All right. Let's see here. That's on the back side. We don't have to do anything about that. All right. Celestial Convergence comes into play with 7 omen counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an omen counter from Celestial Convergence. There are no omen counters on it. The player with the highest life total wins the game. If 2 or more players are tied for the highest life total, the game is a draw. Felt like that's kind of a fun, different way of winning the game. Overrated and useless. Wow, you chose violence coming here. Not from me, but Adam might talk to you later. Because we all know that we are hashtag Team Forest Walk here on this video, right? So cool card. Don't know where it's going. Bygone Bishop, just a foil version. For Tesa, making clues. I bought 2 of them apparently. Woo, Thrashing Wumpus. This is a Pestilence or a Pyrrhemia and some black decks. Uh, Needed a copy for Indoraptor. Should be a lot of fun. You watch your mouth, Mark. Yes, got a couple of them just because I didn't have it. Actually, I only had one Limdual's Hex, and so I wanted another one. I'm gonna try and fit this one. It's in Indoraptor, and I think it's gonna go in Tesa. Just cheap ways of dealing 1 damage to everybody's pretty cool. So, foil Spike Tail Drakeling, sacrificing it to counter a spell unless they pay 2. So, not a bad deal. Kind of was going for like a sacrifice, like creature theme in my what is it? refined deck, so it's flying. They all have abilities that can sacrifice, kind of protect stuff. It's kind of been fun to play around and add those kind of cards in. So, any good cards? No, not too much. Hashtag Team Forest Walk. Sentinel of the Nameless City. I can just for decks. Don't worry about it, hockey. You're fine. So this is just explore stuff. I don't know how much I was kind of hoping to do an explore deck, but I didn't. Cool card here. Rally the troops. Play only after you've attacked before you declare blockers. Untap all your creatures. Rally troops only after you are attacked before you declare. So it's a sorcery, but it's portal, whatever. But basically, if somebody's attacking you, you can cast it at instant speed and untap your creatures. So I got two of those real cheap. Confessor foil. Whenever a player discards a card from his or her hand, you may gain a life. Just a nice cheap card in Refine. Don't know how much I'm going to be able to do with that, but got two. They're old foils. Might as well. Comball, Console of Allocations. Just a great card for those like pay two, lose two, or gain two, lose two. Wanted it in foil. Cheaper than it used to be. Agent of Masks. I thought I would be using this. I did not in Tesa, but got an old foil of it. Two. All right. Also, Syndicate Enforcer. It's extort foil. Didn't end up using this one in there. Got two of them. Wow, look at me. I got real aggressive, huh? Knight of Obligation and foil. That is at least an uncommon. I have this going in Treebeard and Tesa, at least two decks for it, but cool foils. Kingpin's Pet, also three foils there. Definitely this one made Tesa, and I'm kind of really liking Extort for a bit there. Mariok Rigger. Whenever an artifact is put in the graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on it. Thinking Tesa, but I didn't go that way. But I'm gonna make some big changes, and this could go back in there. So foil from Mirrodin or Darksteel could get big there. Palace Siege foil. Everybody, your opponents lose two, you gain two. Pontiff of Blight, just everything getting extort. Foil, and then Terran Ghost, which is that Rafine sacrifice. 1/1 flying, sacrifice it, regenerate target artifact. Um, so it just has that sacrifice theme to it. All right, on to the next package. I don't know why they gave me three. Maybe that, yeah, maybe. Give me a big box. I was kind of surprised by that. Normally it just comes in a, you know, one of them heavy duty envelopes. So, all right, let's see what we got here, huh? Okay. Oh, I'm excited to get because I didn't have this one, but it's cool. So, you got Emissary of Hope, 2/1 flying, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you gain one life for each artifact that player controls. There's a lot of artifacts out there now with these treasure food tokens. So I got two of those in foil, and then Emissary of Despair. Same thing, but only when you deal damage, they lose life for each artifact that they control. Goes great with like Mycosynth Lattice. You're gonna do a lot of work in both those. Black, white. Temple of Silence just didn't have any in foil, so I got two at least. Malevolent Witch Kite. Whenever ETBs sacrifice any number of artifacts, enchantments, and or tokens, then draw that many cards. So just kind of like another Bontu God Eternal or Reprocess, just a different version of it. um, that's all I was going for. Unruly Catapult. It just taps to deal one damage to each opponent. And then whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, untap it. So you can do it a couple times in a turn. I think I want to put this in Calamax and then this one in St. Traft and Rem. So just being able to untap and do stuff. I don't even remember what this one. The Apprentice's Folly. Sacrifice all reflections you control. So choose target non-token creature you control that doesn't have the same name as a token you control. Create a token that's a copy of it, except if it's legendary, it isn't, and then do that twice. So I don't know what I was planning on doing with that, but looks cool. I like the idea of that, of like copying. Non-legendaries. Whenever Hopeless Nightmare enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. It is an enchantment, and then whenever it's put in the graveyard, you scry 2 and you can sacrifice it. I think I was planning on putting this in Onyxia, or at least trying for it. Kind of a cool little card, does a lot for 1 black. Shard of the Void Dragon. I just really like this card, even though it's expensive. I wish it was a dragon. It says dragon in there, so disappointing. But it's from the Warhammer decks. Pretty cool. Treasure maps, really cheap. Full art foils. It's a good card. Plenty of treasures running around. Just for merfolk, doing merfolk things. Carmen, Cruel Sky Marcher. This is kind of like a Sun Titan. And so whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, put a 1/1 counter on it, and you gain 1 life. And then whenever she attacks, return up to 1 target permanent card with mana value less than or equal to the battlefield. So that could still be lands. Um, but it's just on attacking, but it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Flying is really nice. So thought that was kind of cool to pick up and try around a couple. Ishin might get it. Like I said, Refine might like it because just bringing stuff back on the attack and you want to be attacking with it. Tarian's Journal, thought it was pretty cool. Tap it, sack a creature or an artifact, draw a card. Saheeli, the Sun's Brilliance, played against Jesus's deck like a month-ish ago, maybe, yeah, yeah, and really liked what was going on there, with, like, sacrificing legends and getting a bunch of treasure. It seemed really fun. Not gonna say that I built it, but it made me think that I wanted one of these. Lodestone Needle here, what's it do? Tap up 1 target artifact or creature. It is a cheap craft. And then you can or target creature you control explores, activate only as a sorcery. So this is real cheap and efficient, and then a consistent source of explore is not a bad deal. Fanatical Offering, additional cost, cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw 2 cards, create a map token. Got a couple of those. Uh, Bartolomeo del Presidio. Sacrifice another creature or artifact, put a 1/1 counter on Bart here. So I was thinking about this and the Moriok Rager, and then also you have that might be the way that it's going to go as a deck. Because I'm not making a lot of tokens at this point in my testing. So this guy, tap, sacrifice another creature or artifact. Each opponent loses a life, gains a life. Not a bad deal. It can be a blocker. More Rivendell's. I'm using this card a whole ton. So they're cheap, like $2. Surge foil. Denethor, Ruling Steward, sacrifice another creature. Each opponent loses 1 life, gains 1 life. Again, one of those cards where I was like, oh, I could be going into the Zulaport cut throw it route for Teysa. I am not. So and I tried to make the order quick so that I had stuff for the video, and it arrived a day late. Dollar short. Lothella, yep, same thing. Golem is pretty cool. And if you're gaining a bunch of life in a black deck, that's the way to go. Selfless Glyph Weaver, sacrificing it works in white black decks, but that's a wrath. That's a save everything, make everything or all your creatures indestructible. Um, so old foils got Void Slime, old foil, old border foil. I didn't have one of these, so Void Slime at all. Not huge into counter spells, so might as well get one of these. Perilous Forays, card that I really like. They got a new board or new art, old border, foil, pretty decently cheap. Same thing with Pariah's Shield. The foil version of the original was, I want to say, $8 to $10, and now you're able to get it for old border $1 a piece. Not a bad deal. And then Mind Leech Mass. This card was a $4 to $6 card after Umbris was printed and before this reprint. So might as well get some good looking foils in that regard after the reprint. All right, one big ish one. Where are we at? How we got? We're doing good on time. All right. Remember to like, share, subscribe if you like some of this stuff, like some of the ideas. That's, that's a big reason why I like commander is just having the ideas. Another Mind Leech Mass. Got real aggressive there, didn't I? Jeez. What am I doing? I bought 4 of those? I don't know about that. 2 makes sense. Master of Cruelties, old board foil. That was a buck or 2 as well, so not a bad deal. Illusionist Bracers. Got 3 of those old bordered foils. Looking good. Ghostway was a card I did not have. You're just blinking everything. Old bordered foil. Not a it's Go look at them old bordered foils. They're cheap. Flippled the Lost. This is for my hashtag Team Forest Walk deck. I think I have it in one other, but alt art looks cute and good. A Debt of the Debtless, old bordered foil. This is probably going to be heavy in the Ravnica remasters here. Cinder Vines, old border foil. Borborgmost, Enraged. Uh, wow, that looks really good. Blind Obedience, love that card. Obviously for Tesa. Remand foils, those were real cheap. You got 4 of those. Quasi duplicate, got 2 of those. I like copying stuff. I like the jump start mechanic, does really good. Priest of Forgotten Ways, 2 foils there, not a bad deal. Tesa, Nicol Bolas, Dragon God. That was $2. It was super cheap. Mizzix's Mastery, got him in foil there. Pretty happy with that. Midnight Reaper, also foil, not a bad deal. If you Mayhem Devil foil before this reprint was like a $15 card. It's a great card to use. So I picked up 3. Not a bad deal. Drift of Phantasms, got it in foil. Assemble the Legion, also 2 in foil. Should be a lot of fun. Uh Quandrix Command. That is for Calamax, promo foil. Real cheap. Lux Artillery, just something that looks really cool. But whenever you cast an artifact creature spell, it gains Sunburst, which adds counters for the colors that have been spent on it. And then at the beginning of your end step, if there is a 30 or more counters among artifacts and creatures you control, deals 10 damage to each opponent. This is maybe going to make it into Lucia Kane. There gets to be a lot of counters on and a lot of creatures. So Underworld Coinsmith, I didn't have one. I was very surprised by this, but I would have thought that I wanted it in Nixthia. Almost kind of just wanted it for Tesa, but each opponent losing a life. Um, Whenever enchantment comes into play, gaining life. So not a bad deal. Seer of Stolen Sight. Menace. Whenever one or more artifacts and or creatures you control are put on the graveyard from the battlefield, surveil 1. Just kind of looked fun. Didn't have one. Dreg Recycler going in the deck. Tap, sacrifice an artifact or creature. Everybody, your opponents lose a life, you gain. Night Market Lookout whenever it becomes tapped, everybody, your opponents lose a life, you gain a life. Bastion of Remembrance. Whenever a creature you control dies, they all lose 1, you gain 1. Foils. Basilica Guard, like I was saying. Go and extort foils, which are pretty cool. Joint Exploration, which I like as a kicker. One is for Calamax, the other is just for good looking. Ooh, here is the creme de la creme. This is probably the only one that Hockey would be happy seeing, but I am wow. Wow. I've wanted this since it came out. It was just so fucking expensive and always out at Card Kingdom. But not sponsored, by the way, Card Kingdom. Get a hold of me, your people. Get a hold of Adam. I don't look at the emails. But yeah, alt art showcase, Ugin, Spirit Dragon foil. God, that looks fucking amazing. I think this was like 40. That was a lot. But that's a gorgeous looking card there. Nightmare's Thirst. Just gain a life. Target creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. Got an etched foil of Nixless, the Black Oath. That's going in my what's his nuts name? There we go. Xavier Saul. Planeswalker deck. And then Blood Chief Ascension. Etched foil. Oh, Nixless Black Oath. Oh, I did get a loyal subordinate. That did make it into Tesa. That looks cool. Mark of Memory foil. Didn't have a foil version of it. Ingenious Smith likes to go and get artifacts and gets 1/1 counters on it. Gets a bit bigger. And then a maggot carrier. Whenever it ETBs, each player loses a life. So just thought that was kind of fun. That's everything, folks. Um, Plenty of cards there. Lots of fun. If you enjoyed, give a you can take longer. I have 8 hours and 45 minutes left at work. I am sorry, friend. I shot my whole load. 20 minutes. I'm That's impressively long for me anyway. Um 8 hours. That's like only half the time that you're already like half done with work, eh? Let's see here. God. Let's look at that. Pretty happy with these. I'd say highly suggest going through the Ravnica remastered, picking up a bunch of those foils or just cards that you don't have. Um, but either way, appreciate you watching. Good night. Bye.